Again, hey, welcome again. I want to introduce the Commanding General of the Washington Army National Guard, General Paul Sellars. Sir, thanks for being here.
I'm going to have to use my glasses on this one. Hey, what a great group. I mean, this is Pete, good to see you. Yeah. This is a wonderful opportunity. I missed last year's, but I saw all the AERs and reports and stuff. It was, what a great opportunity. And this looks like it's about double what the crowd was last year. So I'm super excited. I got an autographed copy of On Combat, so I'm already winning today. Thank you, Craig, for putting this whole thing together. I mean, there are very few people when I think of the types of leaders that can just kind of put something like this together, and Craig, you're definitely one of them. I'm excited to get the opportunity to welcome you all here to the Greater Joint Base Lewis McChord. I think most of us are guardsmen here. I don't know, there might be a few active duty dudes out there, but welcome. What is maneuver? I just literally Googled this because I wanted to kind of set the framework for you guys to understand. Now, I understand you guys have some, the leaders have some LDP after this, but just to kind of get the brain juices flowing, maneuver is a series of moves requiring skill and care. Think sequential planning in chess. It's also a carefully planned scheme or action, especially one involving deception. Think faking a jab and to set up a hook. A large-scale military exercise of troops, warships, and other forces. Now we're starting to think of more than two dimensions here, and not just sequentially. Which leads us to maneuver warfare. Google says that maneuver warfare is the use of initiative, originality, and the unexpected. And I know Craig emphasizes a lot of the unexpected. Combined with a ruthless determination to succeed and seeks to avoid opponents' strengths while exploiting their weaknesses and attacking their critical vulnerabilities. And is the conceptual opposite of attrition warfare, which we will also hear about today. Copilot adds that unlike attrition warfare, which focuses on direct confrontation and the destruction of enemy forces, maneuver warfare seeks to outmaneuver opponents, inflicting losses indirectly through tactics such as envelopment and disruption. This approach aims to exploit the enemy's vulnerabilities while minimizing the need for frontal assaults, thereby preserving one's own forces and resources. I think you guys are going to get after a little bit of that with your Civil War era stuff. At a symposium such as this, which if you look up symposium, what does symposium mean? It's an ancient Greek term for like a drinking party. So we don't have the booze here, but at the symposium like this, we ask ourselves a lot of questions to stimulate innovative thinking and challenge our assumptions. We all have ideas on what maneuver warfare looks like. Similar to the old joke about opinions. Opinions are like assholes. Everyone's got one. Most of them stink. My time back as a young SF officer, we said the same thing about tactics. Everyone's got tactics. Most of them suck. But it's no different with maneuver warfare. There's lots of ideas out there. We were all introduced to the concept of maneuver at the lowest levels in our training, where we learned our basic tactics. We learned the difference between movement and maneuver. Then as we progressed up the echelons in both staff and command roles, we see the maneuver picture get bigger and bigger. Our individual backgrounds also shape how we see maneuver. I started as an infantry platoon leader in M113s. That's how old I am. Transitioned over to Bradley's. The FM 7-8 was the foundation. Then I grew more as a special forces officer to see a wider variety of maneuver theories through my exposure to lots of different militaries in different countries, each one shaped by their individual cultures, their capabilities, as well as their equipment. That all shapes their ideas on maneuver warfare. We've always planned to employ our maneuver elements, looked for maneuver enhancement, discussed the forms of maneuver. Shout them out if you know them. Envelopment, Tom, I know you know all of them. Envelopment, frontal assault, infiltration, penetration, turning movement. Today we're going to talk a lot about maneuver warfare, and we have some of the greatest contemporary minds on the subject, and let me add, their opinions don't stink. We have, I'll just go, you have the full program there, so you have their full bios, but I just want to take a second to acknowledge them. We have Army retired Colonel Bill Edwards, who served as the Director of Intelligence at SOC North, teaches leadership and is an expert in drone and counter-drone warfare, who offers advanced technology solutions to governments and private industry around the world. We have Mr. Ian Brown, retired from the Marines, and has written much on military history and the future of warfare. He popularized the work of John Boyd, the developer of the OODA loop: observe, organize, decide, act. And that's what leaders do at all levels. But what I've seen, and I love this phrase, but when you send the Army to go do something, what does OODA turn into? Observe, overreact, destroy, and apologize. The larger the instrument that you use, the more unwieldy it tends to become. But that's why we are all learning here to become maneuver experts at every level. And when I think about like the Chinese military or most other militaries, they don't develop leaders down to the level that we do. So it's important that you guys are here to think through this. We have Dave Grossman here, who wrote On Combat and on Killing, and is widely acclaimed for his expertise on the psychology of killing and violence. His books were huge when I was a young Special Forces officer as we were preparing for the invasion of Iraq, just to think about mentally what we were about to get ready to get into. We have Lieutenant General Antonio Agudo, who commanded the 7th ATC in Europe and the 3rd Infantry Division and the Security Assistance Group Ukraine. Very recent and relevant experience at the highest levels of military service. Dr. Brian Steed is a retired lieutenant colonel who worked extensively with Middle Eastern militaries, as many of us have, in working with the cross-cultural influence in the Middle East conflict and history. He also teaches at the Command and General Staff College at Fort Leavenworth. Dr. Jim Greer retired as a colonel and was the director of the School of Advanced Military Studies, also taught at West Point, mentored nearly all of our current 4-star generals. He has also been an innovator for Army transformation for decades, so he was talking transformation before transformation was cool. So we've gathered an amazing team of experts, and I am very humbled by their presence and really appreciate them taking the time to come and speak to us here today, especially coming to our small little corner of the world. Thanks again, Craig, for bringing this. I just want to add one more thing. I challenge each and every one of you to really think. Listen, think, and ask questions as we get opportunities to. Think about how or if maneuver warfare actually changes. Think about micro-terrain. How many infantry people do we have out here? Okay. When you think about micro-terrain, and what was the reason you think of micro-terrain? You're thinking about low crawling. You're trying to advance on the enemy without them seeing you. But imagine yourself sitting there like this, low crawling. Now, look, what's that look like from above? You think, yeah, nobody can see me. I'm protected from direct fire. But that's not the way it is anymore. With the constant observation that we have, so what we used to think about when we were brand new infantrymen, a lot has changed. But how much does or doesn't that actually change our ideas for maneuver warfare? That's what I kind of want to challenge you guys to think about. So thanks again, Craig, for making the 2nd annual Maneuver Symposium a reality, and I look forward to all the lively discussions. Thank you very much.